Hi, everybody. I'm Jessica Hayes. I am super excited to be with you today. This is the first episode of my podcast, Wonder Women. I'm so excited for you to join me. I want to talk a little bit about who I am and what I do, and I want to introduce you to the lovely Elizabeth and talk about who she is and what she does, because she's super inspiring to me, and I'm sure to you as well. So I've been a real estate agent for about 4 years, but it was after a hiatus, having my little boy who's now 8. I was in the mortgage industry before that for about 10, 11 years. So I've got a significant background there in what I do, which has been helpful to my buyers and sellers. I don't want to talk so much about the current real estate market because you can Google that and everybody within 2 feet of each other is a real estate agent. So I just want to give a little synopsis of where I feel we're at in the market, and then we'll move on to the fun stuff. So for the last 2 years, everybody knows it's been really predominantly a seller's market. They certainly have had the leverage, and they still do for the most part, but we are starting to see a little bit of a shift in the market, so buyers get ready because things are turning a little more in your favor. Unfortunately, as interest rates go up, and they will probably continue to go up just a little bit, that puts some weight against the current median home price, which means that'll start to level off. Things will take just a little bit longer to sell than like -2 seconds, and it gives the buyers a stronger position. I work for a wonderful company. If you need anything now or in the future, I'd love you to think of me, but more importantly, I want you to know who I am, who you'd be dealing with, what I can bring to the table, and what I believe in most importantly. So my guest today is Elizabeth Sukart. She is an amazing woman. I've watched her over the years. I think I met you at my girlfriend's daughter's quinceañera, actually, Joanna.
Wow.
Hey, Joanna. Anyway, and I just remember her energy and being so positive and so lovely to work with, and does beautiful photography. And recently I was watching, you're welcome, I was watching some of your stuff on Instagram, and Elizabeth has been on a journey that I think she conquered, physical fitness and all this, and she can talk to you about that. But I was so inspired because I always see her doing weddings and clips of things and sort of the behind the scenes imagery that she puts up of her work, and I love watching it because I think it's beautiful. I'm like, this girl's working out now and she's in her kitchen, and it clicked with me because I'm a mom, she's a mom, and sometimes it's just where your space is, where you have the time. When you have to prioritize something, that means it's when you can do it.
Yeah.
So sometimes for me, that's 7 a.m. in my garage, that's on the stairs going up and down doing laundry and putting in a workout, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about you, where you're at, and that workout stuff, the game you have.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so
pleasure.
grateful and so honored to be here with you, my love. I am so excited. And my name is Elizabeth Sukart. I'm the owner of Maddie Lacey Photography. I've been a photographer now for a little over 14 years. I photograph a little bit of everything from weddings, maternity, family sessions, and engagement sessions as well. I been living in Rhode Island for most of my life now. I would say 35 years now.
No, you didn't. Did you say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've been living here now for a few years now. So Rhode Island is home for me. I am a mother of twin daughters. They are currently 15 years old. Their names are Madison and Lacey, hence the name of my name, Maddie Lacey Photography. The question you were going to ask me.
Well, I really am taken back and appreciative of women that I see that are doing maybe more in life than they thought they could, that they expected to need to.
Yeah.
Your girls are adorable, sweet, polite, beautiful young ladies. I know their dad is a great dad, but you are divorced.
Yes.
So we know as moms, especially divorced moms, which we both are, that there is a whole different level of stress, of pressure, of need to get it right when it's just one parent in the household. And so for you, you've done that with such grace, consistency, and you've done that while building an amazing business that really most people in Rhode Island, I'm sure they'll recognize you with not only just within your community, because that's one way of going at business, but the things you do are stunning, and who you are stunning, and I think it's really starting to resonate just generally in the state. And
Thank you.
Mexico and all these other places that you go to do weddings, people are taking you with them. But so for me, it's always been an upfront priority for my son, what he sees, the example I set for him, because really that's the only thing we can control.
Correct.
What he sees every day, what he hears, the expectation put upon him as how he's to behave, as what's expected, what he sees me doing, that's the priority. And that sort of leads me in everything that I do now, because I know there's a set of eyes on me that you can't rewind, you can't edit out, you can't delete what's been said or done, but you can do the best that you can. So you've built this beautiful business amongst being a mom to twins who are teenage twin girls. Teenage twin girls. My little boy is 8. So I have a little ways before we get to the teenage years. But what do you feel helps get you through? What's your focus? What motivates you, most importantly?
Well, obviously, my girls motivate me on a daily basis. But I would say my motivation changes seasonally. And it depends on the space where I am in my life. I feel for the last year, my motivation, yes, my girls, but has been myself and wanting to better myself mentally, personally, emotionally, and even through my career as well. Having 2 teenage daughters who look at you and are following, paying attention to everything that you say and do is super important for me to make sure that, I mean, I'm flawed.
Of course.
We're going to make mistakes, however, nevertheless, it's showing them that you can conquer it. You're resilient, you're capable, you're strong. And I felt that I was being a little bit hypocritical of wanting the best for my girls, but I was taking the short end of the stick for myself as to when it came to my physical goals and career path as well. And it was super important for me to invest in myself and take care of myself the same way that I would want my girls to take care of themselves. Right. I think that how could I tell my girls, I want the best for you. I want you to go to great schools. I want you to
take pride in who you are.
Exactly, all of that. But I'm not resembling that for myself.
Well, I never picked up on any kind of lack there, but we need to talk about your most recent, at least what I noticed and couldn't help be like, this is what I reached out to you for, this physical fitness journey that you're in. Now, clearly anyone that can see this woman is stunning.
Thank you.
But talk about a little bit about this recent goal that you set for yourself that I assume you've nailed the thing, because I don't know if it can get any better.
Thank you.
Tell me.
First and foremost, I never thought that I was fat. I just wanted to feel good in my jeans. And I would say January was the time where I felt a shift, and I was sick and tired of my own excuses of being so inconsistent with my eating and my exercising. And that is where I made sure that I chimed into my amazing coach, Nadia Cashew, who has been an amazing coach and trainer and who has helped me be accountable and consistent with my journey. I've managed so far since January to lose 36 pounds.
I mean, it's beginning of May, right? That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. And
Thank you.
Although you look at, we're not kids anymore.
No,
the older
it's
that
been
you get,
hard work.
Right. The older that you get, it's hard.
It's hard.
For women. We're going up a mountain
but
right now.
Prioritizing myself has been everything. I get it. We need to make our children important, and our spouses and whatever else. But if our cups are not full, we're not able to pour into others properly. Not even me taking care of myself and my well-being has made me a better mother, a better friend, a better woman. Just being able to manage my business in a much better way. And
now that's so interesting, because so your girls are 15.
Yeah.
Now my son is 8, and it's what you're saying right now is hitting me, because I have a big struggle with saying, okay, this is for me. I need to focus on me, because he's so young. So when your girls were younger, I'm assuming, were you in a different, you had to evolve into this, it needs to come from me first. It needs, right? So because I struggle with that. I struggle with work schedule, with...
feeling guilty. We are guilt-ridden on a daily basis, because if we don't spend enough time with our kids, are we being a good enough mom? Are we doing this and we're doing that? No. It's super important for you to take care of you so you can take better care of your son. Right. When you are depleted and tired and exhausted, what good are you to anyone?
True.
Nevertheless, to your
That's
son.
true. I'm always tired.
Yes, but, investing in maybe going for a walk, hiring a trainer for you, going to the gym, eating better, whatever maybe, whatever helps you feel better,
Right.
taking that time for you. It's the right thing to do. It's healthy. And we're so programmed as mothers that we need to take care of everything else and then we're last. And I'm like, that is so wrong on so many levels. And my girls have seen me prioritize myself. They're better for it. They see that I'm happier, that I'm in a much better space. And it's showcasing them that their happiness and their health is super important as well. That they should not have to, their joy and their health should not take a back seat for anyone else, not even their own children, So that's something that I have stapled in my life the past year for sure.
I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think that's great. And you look amazing. I'm sure
Thank
you feel
you.
even better than you look.
Thank
your
you.
girls must be in awe.
Yeah.
It's a very quick transformation. I get into fitness a little bit, but it's always been like a stress relief for me. And it's not really like a set schedule. I like to do things that are a little bit maybe unconventional for women during their workouts, boxing and fighting and all that kind of stuff. But it's what works for me.
Correct.
My issue is I love to do it so that I can eat whatever, because for the longest time, I've pretty much been able to, I'm a sugar person. And I've loved... I love
Give me
to do
all the
it.
sugars, all the
funny.
sweets.
It's funny because the last year or so, I'm like, wait a second, I could always eat that and do that, and then I'd work out a little bit and I'd be good, and it's shifting. So we've got to realign. But it's super important for my son Jax. He knows his mom is strong. I'm 44. I have an 8-year-old
Gorgeous
boy. So,
44-year-old.
But no, for real, it's. He needs to see me sometimes I think he needs to see me as both parents, which is not the case. That's something I put on myself that I've let go of because I was made to be his mom. God made me a woman to give him the nurturing and the support that he needs and the love and affection. But we wrestle. My son's into judo, so we do those things too. When something needs to be done at the house, typically I'm the one doing it. So I like feeling strong and able. A benefit to getting to being strong and able is being healthy, is being fit, is hopefully liking the way the jeans look. But I love feeling like I'm not my age. I'm just healthy. Yes. I don't maybe look, I look okay for where I'm at in life. I just want to feel like I look great and be okay to say
feel
that.
Feel good in your clothes.
Yeah.
And to feel confident.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to talk to you about, without getting super personal, but I am curious for you because we all evolve as we get older. Yeah. I know that I probably wouldn't recognize the person I was in my 20s. Right? Thank goodness. I mean, I'd probably see her hair from a mile away, but that's another story. So I am curious, what shifted for you in your life where you decided that you needed to be the priority? Or what circumstance occurred that you took a kind of a step back and said, okay, this is where I am. So what now? How am I going to go at this situation? Something that surprised you or it was unexpected and you decided, look, I need to get through this, so I'm going to do it.
I became sick and tired of my own excuses, to put it blatantly.
Yeah.
I became tired of compromising myself. Something that I read that was just like, I know that I require a lot. However, I know that I give a lot as well. And I wanted to, instead of me giving that to someone else, I needed to give that to myself. Something that I struggled with for a very long time was that I felt that I was not enough. And believing wholeheartedly that I am loved and valued and cherished, and that I am the daughter of a king. Amen. And I am to behave as such and to think of myself as such, and it's easier said than done. Absolutely. When others may make you feel otherwise, but nevertheless, it was imperative for me to change my mind as to how I viewed myself. And that for me was a game changer in leveling up as to how I walked, how I spoke about myself, how I approached things in life that was super important to me. And I don't play about me anymore. I do not play about me, Mama. I take myself as serious as I take my girls serious. You know, anyone else that I love, I do not play about me anymore. And when it comes to me, there's a requirement, there's an expectation, there's a standard. And some things are just completely non-negotiable.
That's good.
You know, my joy, my self-worth, my beliefs, my values, you know, and that's all on deck. And the moment that does become that for you, that's a realization, that's a revelation for you. Watch out.
Right. I agree. You know, it's interesting. We were talking, while I was trying to calm my nerves about starting this, Elizabeth and I were talking out there about, you know, briefly what the conversations would be. Totally unscripted, obviously, as you probably picked up on, but even better because of that. And I had said, you know, for a large part of my life, and I don't think that this is specific to only me, I would think the majority of women that go through different seasons and phases in life probably have experienced something similar where, I did everything I could. Now, I love my God and I know who he is. And in spite of that, for the longest time in my life, it's like I wanted to prove him wrong. It's like I was determined to show him that I knew better. Okay, so
don't we all
right?
do that?
So every decision I made, every circumstance was disastrous without him. And
thank God for grace.
Absolutely, thank God for grace. The amazing thing is when I finally had to stop short. Not only did I recognize that I've been loved all along, that love was so unconditional and strong that it was waiting for me, and it was healing
to receive it,
right, and healing on so many levels.
Yeah.
And so a huge thing for me in my life in the last few years has been, I would say, you know, everybody makes mistakes. My list it could be longer than yours and shorter than hers and whatever else, and things we wish we could go back and change, and worried what people will think of those things. I mean, I think that's huge for anybody, what people are thinking. And so the thing that happens with that is that we end up sort of bringing this cloud of doubt or shame or like wondering,
fear.
Yeah. Do we have to live in this cloud we created for ourselves? And so I've been through some things. I mean, I could break it all down for you. I don't know that that's necessary. I don't mind it, but I've had to overcome some battles emotionally, some things from when I was a little girl, some things as a grown woman. I've had some health struggles. I've had a lot of it happen at the same time in my life. And I used to feel like it was my destiny. It was going to be drama always. I was going to have to keep up this circle of craziness because that's what I was sort of what's next now, Jess? Yeah. That kind of thing happening. And an amazing thing happens kind of recently where instead of feeling shame for mistakes I may have made, or instead of feeling, what is this person going to think? I claim those things as victorious because God saw me through and saw me fit, and now I'm going to use this word, as a conqueror.
Amen.
Right? So
Amen.
I'm proud. I've had a list of health issues. I've had a list of, there was a real time in my life, and my family could tell you blindness was on the table, cancer in my lung was on the table. This is going through a divorce, all at the same time, multiple surgeries, and this all with a little boy watching, right? And looking back at it, I'm so proud that God saw me fit to overcome these things, and for no other reason than to be able to talk to another woman somewhere down the line and get them through. But I took that on with God's grace. I conquered those things. So I claim that as victory. Yeah. If somebody else can't, they're bad. That's, on you, but we need to know that the things we've come through them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So there's a mountain, we overcame it. We don't need to be like, no, like I did that thing, where a lot of people still live in shame or fear, and that fear keeps them in relationships they shouldn't be in, jobs they shouldn't be in, friendships they don't need to be in, those kind of things. So, I mean, that was a turning point with me in my life in general. Just like, I'm who I am. I'm proud of that. Hopefully my son has the same feeling as he grows up, but he is first in my life. What I do is an example for him. I take full responsibility for parenting. I don't put that on anybody else, not education, not our church, and though I love it, nothing. He needs to see his example every morning when I wake up and go to sleep. And that's part of why I love what I do. It gives me some flexibility with him, but it allows me to engage with people. I most love when I meet families looking for their first homes. And I equally love when I meet a woman maybe that has found herself in a position to start over or start again. She's fearful, and I can come alongside her. Yeah. Just for that little source of strength. Like, let's move to this next journey together. Maybe a loss of a spouse, a divorce, whatever it might be, or just a woman realizing, wait, I can do this too, and wants to grow her personal wealth. And that real estate has been good for me that way because I really appreciate the connection. I don't know that I cared in my 20s. I mean, it's about other things. Right. And I'm so thankful for those opportunities when they come up. So now I want to shift a little bit. I got my little Andy Bravo on, and I want to ask you a couple of questions that I hope in the future, as I have other guests, I get to ask them too. Just sort of playful things. But if you don't mind, I'd love for you to describe yourself to me, maybe in a couple words today, that 10 years ago, you maybe wouldn't have claimed.
How do I describe myself?
Yeah. Give me some adjectives.
I am fun.
Great.
I am energetic. I am passionate. I'm funny. I think corny at times, but I am. I love love. I am hardworking, compassionate, respectful, kind, thoughtful, a good friend.
I am waiting for the obvious. I find it so interesting. And now we're going to talk about this. I find it so interesting. You didn't say beautiful.
Thank you.
Do you struggle with that?
Not at all. No.
Oh,
I mean, I feel beautiful. Yes.
Right.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you. I feel beautiful. Yes.
Good. Now, let me ask you this. What bit of advice would you give to women, generally speaking, that find themselves in some sort of struggle? What can you say to them today so that they don't quit, don't give up, don't go backwards? What would you offer?
You're capable of so much more than you give yourself credit to. I think that oftentimes we play down our role in what we are able to do. And fear is a whole lie that we eat up by the spoonfuls. And it can be
an ice cream, but
it can be quite debilitating. I was eating it up, believing that I could not pursue my business, that I could not be a homeowner, that I could not be financially independent. And here I am doing it, and thank God that I didn't, I was able to conquer the fears, but it's important that we do it afraid and that we could keep pushing through and surround ourselves with people that love on us, care about us, and help us stay accountable and push us. It's super important to have an amazing community of girlfriends that help you stay accountable and encourage you and believe in you even more so than you believe in yourself. You are the company that you keep.
I heard something today, and I thought, actually I didn't hear it. I saw it on Instagram, and I saved the reel. I'm still learning how to do that. But it's funny that you say that because it hit me. It was a gentleman speaking, and he had said, everybody knows this. I shouldn't say everybody knows this, but as we get older and we learn, we realize that some people enjoy bad news. Some people enjoy hearing the negative. They want to know about your struggle because for whatever reason it helps them feel less whatever, and they feed off of that, and then before you realize it, you say more than you should, you share more than you should, and you feel worse than you should because of the energy you're getting back. So I know that to be important, but I heard something today, and it was, be careful who you share good news with. It's so important. And the reason for that is because it'll be very telling who genuinely is happy for you. You don't want to have experienced something wonderful, reach a goal, have a special moment with your child, whatever kind of victory, and you go to who you think would celebrate that with you to find out it causes some kind of thing in them. So I heard that today, and I just thought it was interesting that to be careful who you share good news with too, because not everybody is your champion, not everybody, and you need to be able to recognize that, because we don't need to carry that along with us. Sometimes you know.
Well, I have to say that I'm very blessed that I do have a community of girlfriends around me that I feel completely open and that I can trust wholeheartedly, that I can share all the good news with. You know,
That's great.
I'm blessed in that part of my life where I don't feel careful, or I don't need to filter out the good news in my life and what is coming and all of that. I'm able to be completely open and transparent. So, I believe that in some extent it's true, but I do believe that you should celebrate yourself and share the good news regardless. I don't believe that if you share your good news that someone else has a power to shut down what's to come. They're not your God.
That's true.
They're not your God. I'm like, you want to go ahead and share what good is happening, that's completely up to you. But that fear and that concern, if they're really genuinely happy for you,
shouldn't matter, right?
It's honestly, it's none of your business. You know, don't, if you don't want to say it, don't. If you do, whatever. I don't think what's meant for you, it's going to happen regardless, whether the other person is happy for you or not.
Very true.
So that doesn't matter.
I love it. This has been so great. Do you have any questions for me or anything that...
Okay, yes. What are some things that you love about yourself? I can't wait to hear this one, Jess.
This wasn't part of the agreement.
I would love to hear. What does Jess love about herself?
You know what I love about myself? I love how my son looks at me. And what I mean by that is I'm a good mom.
Amen. Yeah.
I know it like I know my own name. God has blessed me in that way. The only thing I ever knew I wanted to be was a mother.
Yeah.
And my struggle to become a mom was not easy either. There was a long uphill battle to have my little boy. And I take it very, very seriously. And I know that he's happy and silly and fun and he feels safe. And I take great pride in that. God's given me a gift with him. And I can say that I'm a good mother. Amen. And I'm so blessed.
You're an amazing mother.
Thank you. But I think that's really what I claim more than anything. I'm sarcastic. I'm usually comfortable making jokes, and I like to have a good time. I'm very honest. Some people think that's wonderful, but I take pride in the fact that I think that if you spoke to 5 or 6 people about me, they describe me the same way. I think I'm genuine. Integrity is important to me, and I guess that's what I'd say.
What sets your heart on fire?
I mean, like, what do I enjoy?
Yes. Or what gets you fired up? What gets you excited?
Food.
Girl, ice cream. Yes. Sweets, cupcakes.
Sugar. No, I love to eat. I love to engage with people. I like to feel social. I didn't enjoy it as much as I do now, but like now going out for me, for example, let's say, like, I so appreciate sitting down with a girlfriend and talking and not having to be over here. And so everybody can see. I just love learning and sharing. Yeah. I love sharing who I am. But I like to eat. Anything that we can do over
Foodies
food.
all day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like fitness. I like fashion. I don't know how great I'm at it, but I mean, those are the things.
I mean, you dress all right. Look
I'm
at
all
you.
right. I mean, we
hello.
had the same thing on when we came in. But really, in the deepest part of my heart is my God, my faith, and anyone that knows me too knows I don't shy away from sharing that. I've been blessed with so much, and I've overcome quite a bit. That by the grace of God, I'm here. I'm happy. I'm healthy. I can say the same for my son. That's what does it for me, I guess.
Beautiful.
Well, I think that's good for today.
This was awesome.
I mean,
Thank you so much for having me.
I am honored that you were here.
I am grateful. I'm so glad. I was the first one.
My first Wonder Woman.
Yes.
All right.
So happy. Thank you so much, my love. The first of many, hopefully.
Yes. So hopefully we see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.